So traders, what I want to do in today's weekend webinar, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. And I really appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, especially on my last video. I don't normally do videos like I've done the last few days where I just really open up about my personal life and how I think and so on and so forth. Sometimes I think you guys just want to hear about the techniques of trading, and stuff like that. I don't really think you guys are really interested in me as a person, like stuff that I've gone through, like with my cancer and gone through divorce and how I got it started trading and so on and so forth. So I wanted to start off by saying thank you for all the feedback you guys have given me on that there. It just shows me that you guys are also interested in, how I got started in the market. It's a bit more about me personally. I always thought you guys are just really interested in just learning the techniques. And while I'm here to teach you techniques, it brings joy to my heart that that you guys are interested in more about me as a person and so on and so forth. So what I've done is, if you go to my YouTube channel, so if you actually click on my name, you're going to come to the community tab, and I've actually just put there we go. I just had to fix it up. So if you go to the community tab, right? So right now you're obviously watching. Oh, by the way, guys, you can see I did a video 4 months ago talking about the year-end targets. So if you guys are wondering, like, what was my year-end targets? Some of you guys maybe you've just been watching me for the last couple of months. Well, you know that there's a video here if you go to the homepage about how I've had these targets that I believe we're going to hit by the end of this year. And we're getting very, very close to them as well too. But if you go to the community tab, guys, then you'll be able to see that I've actually just written an article about how I got started and just a bit more about me personally and so on and so forth, and what my goals are and so on and so forth. So if you guys are interested, then after this, make sure you go to my homepage, click on the community tab, and then you'll be able to just have this. It's an article there, just talking more about me as a person and stuff like that. So what I want to do today, traders, I want to get into some of the things that I'm thinking about when it comes to the gold market itself, based on our technicals. I'm noticing an awesome pattern through here, and then also the stock market as well too, and what I believe that may be happening right now. And let's get straight into it. Don't place a trade based on what you'll see in this video, because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, traders, let's get straight into this video that I want to talk about with you today. First, I'm going to start off with gold. And the thing that I noticed with gold is that if you are looking at the market, right, maybe you're identifying a pattern, and then that pattern is no longer valid in the markets, then we need to reassess, right? That's what trading is all about. Sometimes I'm finding some traders who are maybe new to the markets, that they see a pattern and maybe the pattern doesn't work out. Then they go, oh, this doesn't work. It's like, that's because whenever you're identifying the thing in the markets, right, the thing about success in general, right, whether it's business or property or stock market or trading, the way that it works, right, is that you go in there and you have a sort of plan of a map you're going to do, right? You go out there and you do some stuff. And some stuff, it's not going to work. That's just the way it works, right? You're just not going to, you might buy a property. Sometimes like, man, that property didn't work well as what I thought it was going to, or that trade didn't, right? That's just called trading. Just because a pattern didn't work doesn't mean, oh, well, that just didn't work. No, because sometimes it doesn't. Right, and then sometimes it's okay, and then every now and then, like maybe 1 or 2 trades out of 20, you're going to get these explosive moves in those trades, right? So that's what success in the market's all about. If you ask anyone that does with property, they go through literally dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of property to try to find that one that's going to match up for them. So the reason why I bring that up with gold is because a lot of people that they want to impose their thoughts or what they want out of a market instead of looking at the reality of the market. And that's one of those things is actually with gold. The one thing I want to see with gold is I want to see gold at $6,000. I'm raging this thing on for the bulls. But the reality of it is that we're not there yet. I thought we're going to be there last week, but it didn't, and the market retraced. But the thing is, the market really hasn't moved. My overall goals for gold has always been by 2025, we're gonna see a 3,000 plus gold. until then, I don't know what's going to happen. But looking at a technical, oh, by the way, this pink line here is the end of the year. But looking at a technical, right? The technical is that I've identified just recently that this is the triangle pattern that gold is in, right? We've got a very good strong trend line coming down through, and this is that recent move up. And I thought, okay, maybe we're going to start that big move up, and it didn't. It pulled back. So then I went back and I reassessed. I'm like, okay, here's what the real triangle pattern is. This is the bottom bit through here, as you can see. And then we have this big, massive type bit through here. So that tells me that we're getting very, 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 very close. And maybe even into next, maybe it's going to continue to do not much through here, but maybe into next year, because this other side of this pink line over here is next year. Maybe into next year, we're going to start to see that. But for you guys that are investing in gold, this is actually a very, very, very good sign. What you don't want to see out of gold, and what we haven't been getting, you don't want to see gold continue to do this, and then do this, and then suddenly do that. What has it done? It's just gone up, down, and now it's just gone sideways. It's probably going to get ready for another big break, because the overall big movement has been up. We're just getting, and as you can see, right, we've just been, this is one big up move. This is just one big pullback. We're going to get another big up move soon. And this is developing time. And this is very, 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 very important. Why did we do almost 100% move back in 2019, 2020? All right, we did, basically went from like what? Pretty much down to from 1100 to 2000, all right? That's like 80% or whatever it was. Let me just do that from a measurement, right? Why did we make such a big move in such a short period of time frame? Like so, right? Why did we do that? What was that? 2018, 2000. So that's roughly what, maybe 1.5, 2 years. We're in a very big bull market. The reason why is because look at this here. We weren't really doing much through here. So this is very, 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 very exciting for you guys that are long-term bullish on gold. But just understand that when I say a big move's coming, just because I say a big move is coming doesn't mean we're not going to get pullbacks, right? So I say a big move's coming in gold, here we go, but then suddenly we go through this period through here, and that's like, oh, John, you're wrong, the market, right? If you want to capture big moves in the market, then you have to be able to handle your emotions as we go through the bull market, the ups, and then the downs for 2 or 3 or 4 months, and then the ups for 2 or 3 or 4 months, and then the pullback for maybe 6 months, and then the up, and the quick flush down, and so on and so forth. You must be able to endure these pullbacks if you want to capture this here to this here, right? It's just the way the market works. If you do get into a market and it goes straight up like that, just say the market, gold got here and the market went straight up like that. Guess what that's called? That's called a bubble. That's not what you want to see in a big bull market. Why? Because then that's what happens. You see it with every single stock out there that does that. We see a hockey stick move to the upside, and then the movement comes back down. In a big good bull market, this is what you want to see, right? We're getting a nice good sort of resting phase, and then after this resting phase, this is like fuel, just like we did back here. We did nothing for a long time, and then we started a big move. I do see we're probably likely to start to see something like that moving into next year. And the short-term analysis is that once we break out of this triangle pattern, that's when we could start to see that move coming to the upside. So that's what I wanted to share with you on gold there. Let's go have a look at the indices here, because I know a lot of people are freaking out about the indices as well too. So here's what I'm seeing on the indices, and as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff on my good old charts through here, and all we did here is we just got a bit of a pullback through here on this one. And this is what the market does all the time when we're looking at the markets. One of the things that the market does, and if you don't understand the markets, then you will freak out about these movements, right? So and this is a really big thing that I really had to learn, is this: if the market is coming down through there, then what is this? Well, we don't really know, right? We need to see a bit more data, right? Because if the market's coming down like it is right now, just like it is through here, right? We're having a bit of a sideways and then a bit of a pullback. What is this? Right? What is this? Is this like, oh my goodness, this is the top in the markets and then away we go? Or is it something else? But if we have a look, but if we now bring a bit more data, just say the market did that. Oh, right? The market did that. had a move up, and now we're going through that there. What is this? This is just what? A pullback in the markets. And a lot of people freaking out because of this thing here. And then the market will do this, right? The market will come down like it is right now, like it is actually right here. And, you know, and just like it's done through here, through here, through here, through here, through here, right? We get the pullbacks and then we get the move up. We get the pullbacks and we're probably going to get the move up as well too. Then what the market does, it gives you like this sort of slingshot move, right? It gets down, gets people freaked out that don't understand this because we're still in a very big overall up, just a slight pullback before we possibly do that again, gets people freaked out, gets people stopped out, gets people short, so on and so forth. And then we do that again, right? How many times if you've been trading the markets for a while, I know for myself personally, there was so many times I've been in maybe a short position or I've been in a long position, right? I've been in a long position and it'll start to go against me. I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't handle it. I can't handle it. And you get out. And then 2 weeks later, it's doing that on you. How many times have you guys done that? Right? Why is that? One of the simple things is that that's what the market does. For the uneducated, the educated simply means, where are we in a trend analysis, right? Because most of the time we're doing that. And most of the time when the market's doing this, it gets you freaked out. Now, on a probability basis, and as you can see, right, probability says every time we get a pullback, we're likely to see a new high. Now, that's probably going to happen 7, 8, 9 times out of 10, right? You are going to get that 10 to 20% of the time that it doesn't, and it turns into something more. And if this does turn into something more, then that's when we need to reassess. But not until the market starts to give us that something more, then that's what we have to use. And so for now, what I believe this is just a bit of a, this is actually a bit of a, what we're seeing right here on the S&P 500 is we're just getting an overall move up sideways and then a bit of a pullback. We may get a little bit more of a pullback out of here, but then we're probably going to see a big turnaround. And we're probably going to see this thing here is maybe a bit of a slingshot move where the market comes back down and then gives us a bit of a slingshot move into December. So the overall thing that's happening in the markets right now, nothing has changed. And in fact, what actually happened over here, nothing really has changed. And especially when we look at the 10-year, people worried about the interest rates. We know the short-term interest rates have been still low, and then now the 10-year went from like almost 1.7 now down to 1.4. The interest rates are dropping, which is what? Bullish for the markets. So short term, we're getting this short-term erratical gesture in the markets when it comes to the stock market and so on and so forth. But I honestly believe this is just a little bit of a fake out to get people freaked out, right? Like what do you call, like a mock charge or something like that, where the market comes back down and something, and then the market charges again. I would not be too surprised. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, we're going to get a little bit more of a shake and bake through here. But then I would not be too surprised to see coming into the end of this year. Let's actually see, where is the end of this year? The end of this year is the end of this year is right there, right? So I would not be too surprised to see, that's where the end of this year is. I would not be too surprised to see, because we are still in an upward trend, right, guys? No matter, and this is the thing about trading, we are still in an upward trend. Nothing has changed. And I can, no matter what I think, no matter what I hope, the reality of the situation right now is this is what's happening. And that's what I must only look at. Not, well, the market's definitely in and so on. So markets are going to definitely top out and now something else is going to cause this market to crash, right? Oh my goodness, the new variant. You know, the new variant that's come out and the market's going to crash because of the new variant. I guarantee you that this new variant, this little pullback through here, it's probably like, so that the market does this, right? It's like, people are going to be thinking, majority of people are going to be thinking right now, oh my goodness, new variant. They're starting to lock the borders down again. This is COVID 2.0. Here we go again. Boom. And what does the market do? The market's smart. The market's like, that's what most people are going to do. So they're going to start to load up on the put options here, going to get out of their longs because they think the second thing's going to happen, and then that's what's going to happen to them, right? The complete opposite to what you think is going to happen in the market happens because it's the way the That's the way the market works, right? That's the reason why the market sucks money out of the uneducated and the impatient, right? The uneducated is understanding this here. So I would not be too surprised if that happens in the markets traders through there, and then for us to see a very nice move back to the upside coming into this here. Again, guys, with the S&P 500, I've always had a minimum target of 5,000. I do have an aggressive target by the end of this year of 5,400. I don't think it's going to get to the 5,400. It may, right? We just may have a screaming bullish December just out of this thing, rocket ship here. I've always had a conservative target of 5,000, and then my aggressive target of 5,400. So I do still see we probably could actually get maybe a move to 5,000, but the 5,400, that's actually still. But who knows, right, guys? Again, who knows? Let's actually see if we get a tremendous move to the upside in December, then we could just finish this year off with just one incredible bang. And it's going to be really interesting to see how all that plays out. So this is what I'm looking at here, traders. Hope this helped you out for this whole movement through here. If you'd like to learn more about how I trade the markets and what I do and how I look at the markets and so on and so forth, then join my next webinar, guys. Very first link in the description. Go join that webinar, and I will speak to you real soon.